Most people misunderstand procrastination. They think it means they're lazy, unmotivated, broken in some way. But that belief is the real problem, because the truth is simple. You are not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating, and that difference changes everything. When you believe procrastination is who you are, you feel stuck with it. But when you understand it's a habit, you can change it. Because habits follow rules, and rules can be worked with. Let me explain. For a long time, people believe procrastination has something to do with work, that you avoid tasks because they're boring, difficult, or unpleasant. But research shows that procrastination has very little to do with the work itself. Procrastination is actually about how you deal with stress. Think about it. You don't wake up one morning and decide to procrastinate. It happens when something inside you feels uncomfortable. Stress, pressure, fear, uncertainty. Now imagine this. You're dealing with things in your personal life. Maybe a relationship feels unstable. Maybe there's tension at home. Maybe money has been tight for a while. Maybe you're worried about your future. You carry all of that with you into your day. Then you sit down to work. On the surface, you're just looking at tasks, emails, calls, deadlines. But underneath, your nervous system is already overloaded. And then your brain does something very clever. It tries to protect you. Your brain says, right now, you're stressed. And this task feels like it will add more stress. So let's not do that. Not forever, just for a moment. So instead of starting the work, you check your phone. You open another tab. You watch a short video. You scroll, and instantly something happens. Your stress drops a little. That relief feels good. And that's the key. Procrastination is not laziness. It's stress relief. Your brain learns a simple pattern. Stress appears. Avoid the task. Feel better. And the brain loves patterns that reduce discomfort. That's how habits are formed. Every habit has three parts: a trigger, a behavior, a reward. In procrastination, the trigger is always stress, not the task. Stress. The behavior is avoidance, delay, distraction, and the reward is relief, even if it's temporary. Now here's the important part. You cannot eliminate stress from your life. Trying to do that is a losing battle. Stress will always exist. Responsibilities will always exist. Uncertainty will always exist. So if your strategy is, I'll stop procrastinating when life is calm, you'll be waiting forever. The solution is not to remove the trigger. The solution is to change the pattern. This is where most people get stuck. They try to motivate themselves. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. But readiness and confidence do not come before action. They come after. Your real problem isn't that you can't work. It's that you've trained your brain to avoid starting. So the goal is not to finish everything. The goal is to interrupt the habit. Here's how you do that. The moment you notice hesitation, pause. Do not judge. Do not criticize. Just notice. Say to yourself, I must be stressed about something. That awareness alone creates space. Then you interrupt the pattern. Count down slowly in your mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is not a trick. It's neuroscience. Counting shifts activity from the emotional part of the brain to the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decisions. You are waking your thinking brain back up. Then you do one simple thing. You work for 5 minutes, not to finish, not to do it perfectly, just to start. 5 minutes is small enough that your brain does not panic, because your brain isn't afraid of work. It's afraid of emotional overload. Once you start, something interesting happens. Your brain realizes this isn't as dangerous as I thought, and research shows that once people start, around 80% keep going. Not because they force themselves, but because the avoidance loop was broken. The stress didn't disappear, but it stopped controlling behavior. Over time, something else changes. Your brain starts to associate stress not with avoidance, but with movement. Stress becomes a signal to act, not to escape. That's how habits change. Not through shame, not through motivation speeches, but through small, repeatable pattern shifts. So if you procrastinate, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask instead, what am I stressed about right now? And instead of escaping that feeling, acknowledge it. Then act anyway, briefly. 5 minutes today, 5 minutes tomorrow. Consistency matters more than intensity. Slowly, the identity changes too. You stop seeing yourself as someone who avoids work. You become someone who starts, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's the real transformation. Not becoming fearless, but becoming someone who moves with fear present. You were never broken. You were just using a habit that once helped you cope. Now you can build a better one.